In the land of Goshen, a promise slept for 400 years. A child was hidden in a basket of reeds, and a nation was born in chains. But the God who hears the cry of slaves was not finished. From a burning bush to a hardened throne, from the blood on the doorposts to the walls of the sea standing like stone. This is the story of a people in bondage, a man who ran from his calling, and a God who would not let Egypt keep what belonged to him. This is Chains to Chariots, Exodus, chapters 1 through 15. The chains are breaking. The chariots are coming. Let the deliverance begin.
A new king rose over Egypt, who did not know Joseph, who did not remember, who did not care. Generational amnesia, the past erased. New regime rising, no debts misplaced. They multiply until they fill the land. A threat to the throne, too strong to withstand. Brick by brick, they built your kingdom high. Now you fear the hands that reach the sky. Savior's name forgotten in the court. Gratitude dies when memories cut short. Forget the names, forget the faces. Erase the history, take their places. Come, we must deal shrewdly with them, before they rise, before they break the stem. Come, we must deal shrewdly now, turn the people into a plow, crush them down, make them slaves. From the cradle to the grave, let them build what they can own. The new Pharaoh claims the throne. Hard labor in the mortar and the clay. Bitter slavery through the burning day. Every brick of back is breaking slow. Every store city built on human woe. Rhythm and Ramses rise from pain. Monuments constructed, forged in chains. But the more you crush, the more they grow. A people rising from below. Forget the names, forget the faces. Strip their dignity, steal their graces. Come, we must deal shrewdly with them, before they rise, before they break the stem. Come, we must deal shrewdly now, turn the people into a plow, crush them down, make them slaves. From the cradle to the grave, let them build what they can own. The new Pharaoh claims the throne. Call the midwives, give the command. Every son dies by the hand. If it's a boy, let him drown. Kill the future, keep them down. But the midwives feared another king, a higher throne, a holier thing. They let them live, defied the crown. Even genocide can't keep them down, down, down. Come, we try to shrewdly with them, but they rise, they break every stem. Come, we try to live shrewdly now, but you can't break what you don't know how. Cast them down, down, down. Make them slaves, from the cradle to the grave. They still build what you can own. No Pharaoh holds the throne. They still build what you can own. Pharaoh holds the throne. Every Hebrew son, throw into the Nile. Let the river take them. Let the water decide. The new Pharaoh has spoken.
she guards his breathing, 3 months she holds him tight. But soldiers scour the doorways, their shadows fill the land. She cannot keep him hidden, she cannot stay the hand. She lays him in a basket with pitch to keep him dry. She sets him in the river with half a tearless cry. Miriam walks beside him, among the reeds she stays, and watches Pharaoh's daughters draw near the river's haze. Let the river decide, let mercy be near. Let the God of our fathers remember us here. The river runs red with a mother's tears. The river runs red with genocidal years. But grace moves quietly through palace hands, and the child survives what the tyrant commands. The princess sees the basket, she hears the infant's cries. She knows he's born of Hebrews, yet mercy fills her eyes. Miriam steps forward trembling, shall I find a nurse for him? And Moses' mother holds him by Pharaoh's own command. She raises him in secret, paid wages for her care, until he's grown and taken to halls of royal air. A child of 2 identities, a prince with Hebrew blood, a life the river carried where no one thought it could. Let the river decide, let memory stay. Let the God who rescued prepare him one day. River runs red with a mother's tears. The river runs red with forgotten years. But destiny moves beneath the throne, and the boy will rise where the seeds were sown. When Moses grew to manhood, he walked among his kin. He saw an Egyptian beating a slave who could not win. He looked around in silence, then struck the man to death. He hid him in the desert, still shaking from his breath. Next day 2 Hebrews quarreled. He tried to break the fight, but one said, "Will you kill me like the Egyptian you struck last night?" And Moses feared discovery. The whispers reached the throne. He fled into the desert, in exile now alone. In Midian's distant country, he rested by a well. He aided Jethro's daughters when violent shepherds fell. Their father welcomed Moses, a stranger on the run. He gave to him Zipporah, and soon they bore a son. Moses named him Gershom, for I am far from home, a wanderer in the desert where only winds would roam. Back in Egypt sorrow deepened, the king of old had died, but Israel groaned in anguish, and bitterly they cried. Their cries rose to the heavens, their grief filled every breath, and God beheld their suffering, their wounds, their pain, their death. God heard the groaning people, God saw their heavy load. God knew the weight they carried, and God remembered his oath. The river ran red with a mother's tears. The river ran red through the silent years. But the God of Abraham heard their cry, and the child who lived will return in time. Drawn from the waters, raised between worlds, he will walk with the promise that God has unfurled. Hush now, Moses, wander free. The God who knows will one day speak from burning flame and holy ground. Your exile ends when you are found. between worlds. He will walk with the promise that God has unfurled. Hush now, Moses, wander free. The God who knows will one day speak. From burning flame and holy ground, your exile ends when you are found.
I turn aside in trembling, my soul begins to quake. The desert keeps its secrets, but this one calls me near. A fire that burns with wonder, yet never disappears. Bare feet touch holy ground, I hide my face in fear. Carry this, who am I to stand? You burn but never fade, a light I cannot escape. Call my name, and I will turn my face. You burn but never fade, a truth I cannot contain. Call my name, and everything will change. will not let you fall. Go gather all the elders, tell them Yahweh calls. I am who I am, I will be what I will be. I am the God who sees you, the one who sets you free. I'm sending you to Pharaoh, but he will steal his heart. My wonders will surround him, my power will not depart. I'll bring you to a homeland of milk and honey's flow, and Egypt's wealth will follow when I break the tyrant's hold. Fire fades behind me, but the calling doesn't rest. My heartbeat shakes the silence, commanded to the test. I look upon my hands now, they fail me when I speak. How can I face the Pharaoh when my courage feels so weak? What is in your hand, you ask? A staff of desert wood, yet you show me fear and wonder beyond what I understood. Signs in the desert, wind power I can't contain. The serpent coils the leper's hand, blood falls like crimson rain. Signs in the desert, wind and still I hesitate. afraid. Your brother will be with you. Your voice breaks through my fear. Aaron speaks with boldness, and he will draw you near. You say the elders will listen, but Pharaoh's heart will harden. Your wonders will go forward as judgment without pardon.
I'll teach you what to say now. I'll guide your trembling tongue. Yet still my doubts rise upward like dust in desert sun.
Who am I to speak your words? Who am I to stand? Signs in the desert, when power I can't contain. The serpent calls the leper's hand, blood falls like crimson rain. Signs in the desert, when and still I hesitate. Call my name, but I am slow and afraid.
I am the breath within your voice. I am the flame that does not tire. Go now with Aaron at your side. Go now in holy fire. Israel's cries reach my throne. Their bondage weighs my heart. You'll break the chains through wonder shown, for I have set you apart.
On the road to Egypt's borders, your warnings fill the path. Judgment stirs the silence in covenant and wrath. Zipporah stands beside me, a blade in steady hand. She saves me in the moment I could not understand.
The fear of death behind me, the calling still ahead. A mission bound in mystery, where angels dare to tread.
Signs in the desert, when power you will display. The serpent calls the leper's hand, blood speaks in judgment's day. Signs in the desert, where doubt and duty meet. Call my name, and lead me to their knees. I stand before the throne of stone. The desert's fire still in my bones. Aaron at my side, your word in hand. We speak the truth as you command. Thus says the Lord of Israel, let my people go from this place of hell. A laugh like iron splits the air. Who is the Lord? Why should I care? I know no God of Hebrew slaves. You'll stay and work until your graves.
Bricks without straw, he tightens the chain. The cry of the people rises again. Bricks without straw, the lash never ends. The weight grows heavier than mortal hands can bear. The taskmasters sharpen their cruel commands. Gather your straw across the land. The quotas stay, the strength runs dry. The children hush their father's cry.
They beat the foreman down in rage and drag them bleeding to Pharaoh's stage. O king, these burdens crush our breath, but Pharaoh answers only death. You idle slaves, you dare to roar. Your freedom dream is why you suffer more. No storm, no mercy, still you make, or feel the whip until you break.
Bricks without straw, the night never ends. Their groans rise upward again and again. Bricks without straw, the people lose hope. The God of their fathers feels distant and remote. Moses, you've made us a curse in this land. You've sharpened Pharaoh's killing hand. May God look on you, judge what you've done. You've turned all our suffering into one.
I did what he spoke, I carried his flame, but now I'm drowning in anguish and blame. Oh Lord, why send me? Why let this be? You've brought no deliverance, only misery. Bricks without straw, but heaven has heard. Every chain shaking at the weight of his word. Bricks without straw, but judgment draws near. The God of the mountain is rising through fear.
He sees, he knows the suffering grows. Let my people go.
The people turn against me, their suffering overflows. I spoke your word to Pharaoh, but he tightened every chain. And now the cries of Israel cut deeper than my pain.
Do you still hear? Do you still see?
I've heard the groans of Israel, their suffering makes me weep.
But they would not listen, their hope was crushed to die.
Faltering, my voice is weak with fear. How can I face the Pharaoh when no one wants to hear?
He keeps his word.
chamber, his idols crowd the throne. The air is thick with power, a darkness all its own. You send us with your warning, a fire in our breath. Let Israel walk in freedom or taste impending death.
Your God is just a whisper. Your signs are nothing new. He spreads his hands in laughter.
Show what your Lord can do.
The struggle has begun.
A storm beneath the sun, serpents coil and kingdoms shake. The battle line is drawn. The river will reveal whose power stands as real. A hardened heart resists the truth, but truth will soon be steel.
We cast the staff before him, it strikes the floor and wakes. A serpent born of judgment that every idol shakes. His sorcerers gather quickly, their spells ignite the room. Their serpents rise in anger, but ours becomes their tomb.
You see, my priests still match you. Your wonders fade like sand.
But fear creeps through his breathing.
He will not understand.
The struggle
has begun. A storm beneath the sun. Serpents coil and kingdoms shake. The battle line is drawn. The river will reveal whose power stands as real. A hardened heart resists the truth, but truth will soon be steel.
Go meet him by the river. He worships at its flow. Strike down the pride of Egypt. Let all the waters show.
The staff comes down in fury, the river splits in red. The fish roll up in silence, the water reeks of dread. The fountains bleed like open wounds, the jars grow thick as gore. The Nile, once Pharaoh's lifeline, is lifeless at its core.
We match the sign you've given.
But none can cleanse the flood.
The struggle has begun. The storm beneath the sun.
Serpents coil and kingdoms shake. The battle line is drawn. The river speaks the word. No idol can distort. A hardened heart clings to its throne, but justice won't abort.
7 days the river bled. 7 days the sky stood still. And Pharaoh closed his spirit against the holy will.
The river bleeds. The kingdom trembles. But Pharaoh will not turn.
At morning by the river, the warning leaves my lips. Let Israel walk in freedom, or plague will break your grip.
The waters churn like panic, then rise with pulsing sound. Frogs spill across the city and swallow every ground.
Entreat your God to stop this, and I will let them go. But promises in Pharaoh's mouth are ashes in the air. His mercy lasts a moment, then vanishes to despair. The plagues reveal his kingdom's cracks, the fault lines in his throne. For every vow he makes to God, he breaks when judgment's gone.
The magicians match the chaos, but cannot make it cease. The frogs die out in mounds now, rot buried under peace. Then dust becomes like thunder, a swarm on flesh and bone. The gnats devour Egypt, no spell can shield their own. This is the finger of God.
For every sign that rises up reveals what's truly frail. The pride of kings, the might of his, the oaths that always lail. His heart resists, his breath grows cold, though truth is breaking through. A kingdom drowning in his plagues has nothing left to do.
Then flies like living shadows consume the burning light. But Goshen stands in mercy, divided by your might.
I draw a line of judgment between what's mine and theirs. Let Pharaoh taste distinction in blessings and in snares. Go sacrifice before him.
But don't go far away.
He bargains with his terror.
Then lies at close of day.
The plagues expose his blindness, the ruin of his crown. For every secret promise made, he crushes to the ground. But Egypt shakes beneath the weight of signs it can't deny. The finger of the Holy One has touched the nation's pride. He sees. More judgment still will fall.
God is rising against your hardened throne. Your life stuck in the open will fall before his blow.
The meadows crack with sorrow, the cattle choke and fall, but Israel's fields stand living, untouched beyond it all.
Your threats are wind and rumors, your God has no command. land.
But still he seals his heartbeat like iron forged in flame. Defiance in his breathing,
No fear within his frame.
takes it from Pharaoh's furnace and cast it to the skies. It will become a sickness on bodies and on lives.
The ashes rise in silence, then fall as burning rain. Boil split the flesh of Egypt, a plague of living pain. The magicians fall in torment, they cannot even speak. Their pride dissolves before you, their bodies worn and weak.
For truth divides the nations and breaks the strongest kings. No empire stands unmoving when judgment spreads its wings.
The throne that mocked the heavens once
Now trembles at your word. The land cries out in agony by powers it has heard. I'll send a storm from heaven, no eye has ever known. Let all who fear my voice now find shelter near their own.
Some race to hide their servants, they hear your warning call. But many mock the message and perish where they fall.
Moses lifts his staff upward, the clouds ignite with dread. Hail crashes like an army, and fire burns the dead. The earth splits under judgment, the fields collapse with flame. Trees shatter in the fury, and Egypt bears the blame.
Only the land of Israel stands calm amid the storm. A shadow of distinction, a refuge kept and warm.
Pharaoh cries in horror.
I've sinned, beg God for peace.
But once the storm is silenced, his mercy finds release. He hardens like a fortress against the holy breath, still choosing pride and power, still marching into He knows, he hears.
But hardens through the
You tell me go to Pharaoh, hardened him for this, so generations after will know my judgment's kiss. We stand before his shadow, his throne like sharpened stone. The locusts rise in morning if you won't free my own.
How long will you defy me?
How long this endless plea?
left unbroken, the locusts now erase. A wasteland born of judgment, where life can't find a place.
They darken sky and rooftop, they crawl through door and seal. The fields dissolve to silence as Egypt starts to scream. Pharaoh cries, I have sinned now, entreat your God once more. But when the swarms are driven, his heart grows cold and sore. You will not see my mercy until my signs are done. Your stubbornness is teaching your daughters and your sons. For when becomes a herald of judgment's creeping tide, the kingdom shakes in hunger with nowhere left to hide. The trees are stripped to nothing, the fields to ash and bone. The land beneath his power is nothing but a throne.
Then darkness falls like substance, so wait upon the Lamb. A shadow thick as velvet that none can understand. 3 days they sit unmoving, no lamp or spark or flame. Yet Israel walks in daylight, kept shining by your name.
Go then, believe your livestock, your wealth stays here with me.
We won't withhold our worship, your chains will never be.
This darkness is a warning, a veil before the end, a sign the sky is watching as kingdoms break and bend. The sun itself is silenced, the throne begins to fall, for Pharaoh's pride is blinded by night that conquers all.
His fury breaks like thunder, you see my face no more.
The day you stand before me will be the day you die.
But Moses answers calmly,
You've spoken right this time. The darkness holds its message. The night prepares the sun. One more plague is rising, and Pharaoh will release the people he has broken. Will walk at last in peace. Go speak the final warning before the midnight call. For after this the kingdom will stagger, break, and fall.
Thus says the Lord of judgment, and midnight death will sweep through every house of Egypt where idol worship sleep. From Pharaoh's throne of power to servant and to slave, the firstborn breath will falter, and none will rise to save.
But Israel stands in mercy, set apart from night. The darkness will not enter the homes kept in your light. Midnight is coming, a silence filled with dread, a cry the land has never heard will rise for all the dead. Midnight is coming, a warning sealed in flame. The king who would not listen will finally know your name.
Your servants will approach me and bow before my path. They'll beg the people's freedom to flee the coming wrath. But you will not surrender, your heart refuses still. So wonders must increase now until you know His will.
I hardened him for judgment, I shaped him for this hour, that Egypt may remember the fullness of my power.
Then Moses turns in anger, his footsteps split the hall. He leaves the king in darkness, his eyes refusing fall. The throne room holds its tension, a storm without a sound. The night prepares its shadow, where judgment will be found.
Midnight is coming, a shadow on the land. The cries of every household will rise like broken sand. Midnight is coming, and nothing will delay the final word of heaven arriving in its way. It comes at midnight. It comes.
This month begins your story, a first among the rest.
Take lambs without a blemish, set each one
twilight you will slay them and mark your doors with blood.
For I will pass through Egypt
in justice like a flood. You'll eat with haste and readiness, your sandals on your feet,
with bitter herbs and unleavened bread, the memory complete.
for judgment walks at midnight, and Egypt's pride will fall. But where the blood is resting, death will not touch at all.
A night the world remembers, a night the heavens see,
A night kept for the Holy One, who breaks his people free. This is the night of watching, the night the Lord passed by. The blood became a shelter, a shield against the cry. This is the night of mercy, the night the chains were torn. The firstborn fell in judgment, but Israel was reborn. At midnight came the breaking, a silence split with fear.
from palace court to prison, the wailing filled the air. No house without its mourning, no roof without its dead. The gods of Egypt shattered by one almighty breath.
Rise up and leave this instant. Take all your flocks and kin. Go worship in the desert. Just take.
Your people in. The people press their treasures in trembling open hands, gold, silver garments pouring as Egypt breaks and bends.
A mixed multitude gathers, the dawn ignites the east.
From bondage into freedom, from famine into feast.
This is the night of watching, when God redeemed his own. The blood upon the doorposts became their passage home.
This is the night remembered, a story told in flame.
The covenant of rescue enshrined within his name.
600,000 marching, their children at their side, their dough without the leaven, their hearts without the pride. For God fulfilled his promise made to the ancient line, to Abraham and Isaac, a vow outside of time. This ordinance forever, remember how I saved, remember how my judgment passed over every slave. Remember every vigil, each night you watch and pray. For I have drawn you out now consecrate the firstborn, for every life is mine. The memory of your rescue will echo through all time.
The day I broke your shackles, the night I split the chain, this truth you'll teach your children again and yet again. Remember how we brought us from bondage into light,
with unleavened bread of hurry, we left the very night. This feast will mark the journey, a sign upon your hands, a story bound in memory, a vow across the lands.
for every son redeemed now.
A story will unfold,
The God who claimed our freedom still guides us as of old. The pillar and the promise, the fire and the cloud, the God who walks before us in silence speaks aloud. The path is long and winding, the journey wide and far, but every step is guided by heaven's watching star. He did not choose the warpath, though shorter was the way, for fear would break our spirit before the break of day.
he led us through the desert, the long road to the sea, for hearts untrained in freedom need time to learn to be.
And Joseph's bones are carried
As faith from age to age, a promise kept unbroken across the pilgrim stage.
the people form their columns,
A nation on the move, a story bound in footsteps, a covenant to prove. The pillar and the promise, the fire and the cloud, the God who walks before us in silence speaks aloud. No night too dark to cover, no day too bright to hide, for wisdom lights the heavens wherever we reside. The pillar and the promise, the one who leads us on from Egypt through the shadows to breaking of the dawn. defiance, I'll draw him to this place, that Egypt sees my glory and trembles at my face.
The people see the chariots, the dust against the sun. Fear shivers through the camp now, the soldiers they have come. They cry, were there no graves there? Why bring us here to die? But Moses lifts his spirit and answers with a cry.
My song and see salvation, the Lord will fight for you. Be silent and be steady, He'll do what you can do.
Walls of water rising, storms around us roar. The God who splits the oceans goes on ahead before. Light behind our footsteps, darkness for our foes. The night is split with thunder as heaven's power shows.
The pen shifts in silence and moves between the lines, a shelter for the wanderers, a judgment for the blind. One side wrapped in brightness, the other sealed in night.
A holy separation between the wrong and right.
Then Moses lifts his hand up, the east wind starts to roar. The sea divides like armor, revealing desert floor. The waters rise in towers, two walls of trembling blue. And Israel walks in wonder through corridors of truth. Walls of water rising, the sea stands like a throne. The path of fear and freedom is carved in depths unknown. The wind of God is blowing, the night is split apart. A road through buried oceans, unearthed by heaven's heart.
The chariots rush forward, their wheels like iron fire. But terror cracks their shouting, their courage burns to wire. The Lord fights for His people, the soldiers scream in dread. The waters start collapsing, the sky falls overhead. The waves return in fury, a crushing tidal roar. The might of Pharaoh's kingdom is swallowed evermore. Not one remains in battle, not one escapes the tide. The horse and chariot vanish where heaven's waters hide.
Walls of water falling, the dawn begins to rise. The God who breaks the tyrant now opens up the skies. Israel stands in wonder, the sea behind them sings. The slavery left in ruins, the path ahead with wings. They saw the Lord's salvation.
And feared His holy name.
I sing unto the Lord now, for He has triumphed high. The horse and all its rider He hurled beneath the tide. My strength, my song, my salvation, this God of ancient flame, the God of all my fathers, exalted is His name.
The Lord a mighty warrior, whose right hand splits the sea. Pharaoh's proud battalions He cast to agony. The depths like stones engulfed them, the water stood in place. Your breath became a weapon, your glory filled
mountain, the sanctuary's hide, the dwelling of my presence, established by my mind. People 3 days into the land, they found the waters bitter, no life within their hand.
They cried unto the Holy One, and Moses sought his word. A tree restored the river, its healing power stirred. If you will heed my teaching and walk the paths I show, I'll guard you from the darkness, your healer am I know. Horse and rider fallen, but we walk in your light. You lead us through the wilderness, you guide us through the night.
The springs of Elam greet us, your mercies never fail. The God who split the water still leads us through the veil.
The sea has closed. Pharaoh's chariots lie silent beneath the waves. A people who knew only the whip now sing of a God who fights for them. They are not in Egypt anymore, but they are not yet home. The wilderness is waiting. The mountain is waiting. And the God who broke their chains is about to give them his law. This has been Chains to Chariots, Album 1 of the Exodus Liberation Symphony. The journey continues. The story is not